Hello, hello, and welcome to today's WESIS webinar. My name is Lynn Dome. I'm Women in Cybersecurity, also known as WESIS, Executive Director, and it is a great pleasure and honor to be joined here today by my peers from WESIS Education and Training Affiliate and DefCon Training, as they're here to share their knowledge and insights for you all to make informed decisions on your career progression and to see if training and education is a part of that career path and career growth and advancement opportunities available to you. So before we get started, I'm going to go and give you a little bit of information about the WESIS organization. For those of you that don't know, WESIS is a 501c3 member-based nonprofit with a mission to recruit, retain, and advance women in cybersecurity. We are so proud to share that we have over 11,000 members with representation in 107 countries. In addition to that, we have over 70 professional affiliates. So professional affiliates are industry professionals like Litany and Trisha that are on today's call that are all around the world, and they either have an affiliate, their own WESIS satellite organization around a specific region, and we're all over many different countries and continents, or around a specific specialty area. And today we're highlighting our WESIS Education and Training affiliate. And then in addition to those members, we also have over 330 student chapters. So each and every day, our goal is bringing accessibility and opportunities for individuals to not only get into cybersecurity, but most importantly, be retained and have strong career growth and advancement opportunities. And we're this nonprofit organization that offers over 100 different programming efforts to help make that happen and be a part of your career growth and advancement journey. So as you can see here, we have so many different initiatives. We have our programs for early career, mid-career, senior positioned individuals. We have media engagement, speaking opportunities, training programs, events. Our annual signature conference is coming up March 11th through the 13th in Washington, D.C. But we have so many different regional events and activities, and of course, webinars like this. And then our Job Board Plus conference scholarships, and over 100 different programs that we launched alone in fiscal year 25, engaging over 50,000 individuals. So as you can see here, no matter where you're at in your career, WESIS has a place for you. And we're so grateful for you to join us here today and that we could bring programming efforts like this webinar to life, thanks to our strategic partners. Importantly, our tier 1 partners, Akamai, Amazon, Bloomberg, Cisco, Ford, Google, Lockheed Martin, Optum, Palo Alto Networks, SANS Institute, and SentinelOne. So we have Litany from WESIS Education and Training and CU from DefCon Training that are here today to present this information to you. They're going to be going through some slides and all sorts of good information and knowledge. But please ask your questions. At the bottom of your screen, there should be a comments section. So put your questions in there. The goal of this webinar is to answer those questions live so you all could gather all the information that you need in order to make a decision on, am I going to apply for that DefCon training that's coming up? And CU is going to be talking more about that and or other opportunities in the future. So this learning opportunity is for you. Ask your questions. We'll be speaking to them out loud and answering them live. So for those of you that haven't already subscribed to our WESIS newsletter or aren't already a WESIS member, we strongly encourage you to do so. We have an incredible program lined up throughout January, February, March, all the way throughout the entire year. So being subscribed to the newsletter or a member will give you access to all of that information. Before we go ahead and get started, I just want to pass the mic on over to Litany to introduce herself, then CU, and then we'll put those slides back on and get this party started. Litany?
Thank you, Lynn. I am Litany Lineberry. I am a part of the Education and Training Affiliate. It started in 2023, and I started out as a social media share, and now I've transitioned my role to be secretary. And great to have you all here for our talk.
Great. See you.
Thank you so much, and it's really glad to be here. My name is CU Mo. I currently run the DefCon training for DefCon conference, and previously I was working at the Office of the National Cyber Director, working on education and workforce, and which is where I found out about WeSys, and I've always been a big fan of WeSys as an organization. So I'm just so glad to be here, and would love to share more about what DefCon Training has to offer later.
Yeah, thank you, CU. And so CU shared before we got this webinar started that people are already pinging them like, hey, I'm a WeSys member. We're super excited about this webinar. How can we get this going? So get those questions in that chat area, and we'll be sure to cover them all. And then if you have any more as time goes on, then just reach out to our info@wesys.org, and we'll be sure to send them over to CU or Litany, or however we need to navigate those questions. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start the slides right here, and Litany will have you take it away.
All right, thank you. So the question is, why apply, right? Well, one, it's good for career growth. It's great for learning technical depth and showing your capabilities. And of course, you can put that on your resume, and it shows that you're a subject matter expert. So, and also show that you're able to teach under pressure. For DefCon, I was looking at the site yesterday, and you can do 2 days or 4 days. So learning how to teach a good amount of content within a few days and make sure that the people that sign up can learn it and understand it. So it's shown that you have the skill set to do that. And also you're the authority in that subject and that you know what you're talking about. So it's great for that. But not only that, it's great for promotions, consulting opportunities that may come up, or even advisor and leadership roles within your own company. And then later on, we'll talk about you as an individual brand outside of maybe your work area. So this is really a great opportunity. And for our affiliate, we're here to help assist you wherever you need help, as far as maybe going over and preparing, maybe doing like a mock session if you do get accepted, to make sure that everything flows correctly and that it's within the time limit. So this is very helpful to you in your career. And so now I will advance the slide.
Thank you so much, Litany. Well, again, my name is Siyu Mo, and today I will be covering about DefCon training. But before I jump into DefCon training, I just want to support what Litany was saying earlier, which is, one of the ways for you to build your profile and to be seen as an expert is to be able to teach a subject, right? So I remember, going to conferences, listening to talks, and attending classes, and then sometimes I walked away really in awe, and then sometimes like, you know what, I want to talk to this person and learn from this person. And one of the reasons why I reach out to WeSys is that I feel like we have an opportunity here to have more of you, right, as part of this journey, being an expert, right? We're talking about DefCon training today, but again, there are tons of training companies and organizations out there. I know that some of them are supporters of WeSys that perhaps you haven't considered a career step as a trainer, and maybe you want to explore that. So one of them is DefCon training. It's very part-time, as you will see, so that we can kind of learn more about this. And if you have any questions about the career, the training itself and whatnot, I'm here to answer questions today. So let's go to the next slide. So, just to kind of level set a little bit, DefCon is one of the world's sort of like largest cybersecurity and hacking conference. It happens once a year in Las Vegas in the first weekend of August, usually right after Black Hat Las Vegas. But as you can see, we're expanding DefCon across the world. There'll be more DefCon conferences in the coming years. But right now, DefCon happens in Las Vegas every year. Brings together the world's leading hackers and kind of like teach each other, form a community, right? And DefCon training happens during the conference as well as after the conference, in which individual instructors can bring their course to DefCon, and then they're trained for 2 days or 4 days, as Litany said earlier, and they're all in person. And it covers wide ranging of technology and topics from cybersecurity to hacking to social engineering to organizational management. So this year, for the first time, we expanded DefCon to the Kingdom of Bahrain. So we had that there, and we also had a training there. In 2026, we will have training in Singapore, which, the trainers are set, but, you can try next year. But in Las Vegas coming up in August, and it's very likely that we'll be returning to Bahrain. So you're going to have 3 opportunities to potentially apply and train with us on an annual basis for the next few years. So, let's just talk about the real benefits, right? Like, yep, we understand that there is an opportunity to kind of get your brands out there and whatnot, but you're going to be putting some hours to kind of train students, prep the course and whatnot. What is the benefit here? It's very simple. It's 50-50. Whatever that DefCon receive, we'll give you 50% for each student. So if a student pays a couple $1,000s per class, you get $1,000. Right? On top of that, you get a badge from Credly to show that you are a DefCon trainer. And it's a way to kind of validate your skill, that you are an expert in this area. And it's also a way to kind of engage with, like-minded instructors and learners. One of the things about cybersecurity as an industry is that it's a hard industry, right? Community, like WeSys, is very important. So as you are getting into becoming an instructor and whatnot, I think having a community of your students as well as other learners and instructors will be very important as well. So there's a very simple model, 50-50. Okay, so when you're thinking about training, especially in person, there's tons of logistics, right? You have to think about a room, registration, signing up, marketing, and all this other stuff. So what DefCon offers is that because we're already hosting a conference, so we will take care of the logistics side of things, right? We have the rooms for you, the tables, everything is set up. What you bring is the course content and materials. You bring yourself. If there's any specialized equipment that you bring or that you want to do, right? Like I know that some folks are really interested in medical devices hacking, for example. So they may have some specialized equipment. Some folks are interested into physical security, so there may be some equipment there. So you bring the specialized equipment. We have Wi-Fi, internet, all the rooms set up for you, very similar to like a talk. Then you show up, you teach for 8 hours, work with the students for 8 hours, and then do additional course promotion for yourself. This in some way, this is like a way if you're thinking about tipping your toe into sort of like, going on a speaking circuit or teaching, I think like speaking at conferences like WeSys, DefCon is definitely like first step, right? You're speaking, you're being seen as an expert, and you're wondering whether you want to turn this into a potential part-time income stream or part-time career or your full career. Then the next step really is becoming a trainer that is associated with, something like DefCon. There are other people offering something similar as well, so you should kind of look into them, so that we take care of all the logistics for you, and then you bring the course content and what you are teaching, so that you can focus on what you're really good at. Let us take care of, things like creating a certificate, getting survey, right? Something to that nature that will take a lot of time. That if you are your own trainer, we'll have to take care of them, but we take care of them for you. So I hope I kind of convince you to kind of at least consider being a trainer with DefCon, hopefully. But even if not this year or next year, whatever, consider being a trainer, because I really legitimately think that it's a way to build your brand and to kind of build your resume. In the event that you are interested in DefCon training, we do have a deadline coming up, and that's next week on January 12th at midnight Pacific time. We are that is for the training sessions in Las Vegas this year. I know it's a short turnaround time for folks who are listening to this today. So perhaps, if you're already thinking about a class or you already have a class, I highly encourage you to apply. And if you don't get it this time, don't worry. We have other call for training coming up in the slides after this, so that you can kind of see. But really, what is an application? It's super easy. It's about like, what are you teaching? The title, the course description, right? The course outline, the difficulty level. We look for, different difficulty levels. We try to have a best mixture all the time. And then, if you want to have certificate of proficiency, right? So this is one of those things that is like, hey, when you attend a class as a student, you get a certificate of completion for attending a class. But some trainers want to provide a quiz or a test for their students to validate that they really got it. So that's certificate for proficiency, right? So if you happen to be a trainer now and you're, hey, I got some good content and I have some quizzes, then you can offer certificate of proficiency. And then you should tell us if you have any past experience in, training and speaking engagements. One of the things that DefCon we're trying to do is like we're trying to make sure that we're able to provide feedback to our trainers, right? As well as we're trying to make sure that trainers are of good quality so that students have a good time, good experience learning. So, it's not about how well you speak, it's about how you speak and how you deliver the content, how you engage with the student. So our applications, it's not just me. We have a review board very similar to a conference that review all those applications and then score them. And then we sort of like pick the top performing ones as well as provide feedback for those who didn't make it this year. So what makes a strong application? I'm not going to read through the thing, right? A lot of times it's about uniqueness about your content, your expertise and your enthusiasm, right? How organized you are, right? Teaching, you got to be organized and you have to be empathetic and has enthusiasm with students. So those are some of the stuff that we look for. So the more well put together a talk, and very similarly, a well put together training, it's what we are looking for. And then again, one of the things is that training it's just not you going on a training or panel to speak for an hour. This is like, hey, people are paying 1 day, 2 day, 4 day trainings, right? And then their company might be paying for it. So there's some marketability idea as well. So if you happen to be in a niche that you think like, hey, something that you really want to share and that people like you would like to take a class from you, that should be marketable. Let us know and then put in the application. So this is just a list of what are the topics that are most in demand. Surprise, surprise, AI is one of them. Like everything else, you use AI. In AI, there are like two things, right? There's the AI security, right? How do you make sure that your AI system is secure? But there's also the applying AI for cybersecurity, So that's also another topic that is actually pretty popular now. There's some other topics too that ranges, right? Really, if you think about one of the things that is exciting but also difficult about a career in cybersecurity is look at all these topics. There are just so many different ways to contribute to this industry, cloud, reverse engineering, IoT, OT security, offensive operations, defensive operations, pen testing, red teaming, management, hardware hacking, so I think that's one of the reasons why the reason that drawn me to the cybersecurity industry, and I hope a lot of you as well, it's like how exciting this could be, how innovative this could be. So I hope that, in any areas that you think it's exciting for you, that is marketable, that you think it has high demand, let us know. Sometimes you don't even know that an upcoming topic is interesting until we see the applications. One of the things I want to tell you is that as we expand DefCon to different countries, we are also realizing that there are differences in regions as well. So for those who are listening, not just from the US or from other countries, they may be topics that are more relevant to your region, right? In Asia or Middle East or EU, they may be more relevant, and we'll figure out a way to get you trained, like get your training up there. Now that we're expanding worldwide. Okay, so what's next? Well, Las Vegas, it's coming up, it's the first weekend in August. Like I mentioned before, the call for training opens until January 12th, which is about 6 days from today, at midnight, 11:59 p.m. Just to have to be very accurate on that, or else folks will submit at midnight. But yes, that's 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Again, I fully acknowledge that that is a short turnaround, but when I was talking to Lynn earlier about this idea is that, look, we have to look into this long term, right? If we don't make it Las Vegas this year, it could be Las Vegas next year. And it's not just about DefCon. It could be about, you should be a Black Hat trainer if you're interested, or SANS trainer, or whatever, right? This is a way for me to kind of share and give back to the community, is that, hey, I run DefCon training now. I want to see more of you all apply to be trainers, and I want to make it happen. We have other conferences coming up in Bahrain, likely in November of this year, which means if you extrapolate, so like the timing, we're likely going to accept trainings applications 2 to 3 months from now about, and then with Singapore next year to be confirmed. This year we are going to Singapore in April. So next year we'll most likely in April as well, but timing TBD. So you can kind of adjust the schedule in your head and expect when we'll call for trainings. So the best way to keep in touch with us is to follow us on LinkedIn, as well as check the training.defcon.org, the website. You can, if you're interested, just browse around. If you're not applying for this year for Las Vegas, you're thinking about applying for next year, browse on the website, take a look at some of the courses that are being offered. My hope is you can see yourself being one of the trainers in the future. Okay, I'm not sure whether staying here right now for questions, but if you, we'll be staying on this webinar for questions, but in case you have some very specific questions that you want to email it to us, the email address is training@defcon.org. Again, go on the website to submit your application, and then follow us on LinkedIn for latest news and updates. And again, I really, really want to thank Reese's for hosting us today. I think, being a trainer, hopefully with DefCon, but if it's not with DefCon, with other folks, that's okay too. But I really think that that's one of the ways to really boost your resume and, have a cybersecurity workforce that really reflect the population. I think that's one of the things that we need to get to. And I think training, it's like one of the ways to help us get there. With that, I'm going to end now. I'm going to pass it back to Litany.
Thank you so much for all that great information. And we'll definitely be sharing with those that are part of our affiliate. And I'm sure WeSys globally will share it as well. Thank you. And you mentioned branding. And so I want to touch on that a little bit. So when we think about branding, most times we feel like it's related to our employer. So maybe we're working on a team, or maybe if you're in education like I am and you're developing curriculum, sometimes depending on your institution, all that belongs to them. And so this will help you distinguish your own brand outside of your employer's brand. So this will give you a chance to be creative. If you feel like you're, as you said, an expert in something specific, to sit down and develop a curriculum. And we're here to help as well. If you have an idea, you already have it done, but maybe you want to fine tune it. And so this is a way to, again, establish your personal brand. So then you can when you do present, you'll be trusted among your peers. And then not only that, it enables career mobility, not just within your own organization, but again, you want to do this part-time. Then also looking at your long-term goals. Training is definitely a branding multiplier, especially for women in cybersecurity. Sometimes we don't think it is for us at times, but it is. And so just putting that into perspective and saying, well, I am good in this area. I am good with red teaming, or I've been working in the industry for X amount. I see where some gaps are that needs to be addressed in a training. So let me put that together. So establishing your brand is important. And not only that, it leads to speaking and other speaking and training opportunities. Again, as Siwei said, somebody who may be taking your training at DefCon may be sent by their employer. And so they might go back to their employer, well, this person did a really great training. Maybe we can get them to come and train everyone in our organization on X, Y, and Z. So this is a great launching pad and a great chance to not only expand your knowledge, but also expand your brand. DefCon, again, training creates reusable slides and like you're creating it for them, but you're getting the mindset, oh, this is how this goes. So then you don't have to reinvent the wheel later on whenever when you're hired to do another training. And then where do WESIS education and training come in? Well, we're here to help you with your confidence, strengthen proposals, and even help you step into visible leadership. We're here to let you know that you can do it. So if you have the idea, if you missed the deadline for Las Vegas, but we're hoping that you do apply for Las Vegas. Deadline is next week, but get you in the mindset of thinking, okay, if not now, then maybe Bahrain or Singapore, but getting you into the mindset now. And so we are here to help with that. And so again, you can do the work. And you know how to do the work, just now learning how to teach the work, and teaching it will open doors. And I know because I am a teacher and I love it, but doing this, it really will be helpful, not just to you as an individual or a WESIS member, but just you in general to help with your confidence and say that I can do something, stepping out of your comfort zone. So, Seymour did talk about submitting and what they're looking for. And so for me, I had some tips that me and Tricia came up with that could help as well. So making sure that you clearly state what participants would be able to do after the training. So making sure that is very important. Making sure that your goals match what they actually will succeed in doing at the end of your 2-day or 4-day training. Emphasize hands-on value. So making sure that it goes beyond theory, go beyond the book, but actually give them real hands-on activities. And if you need help with that, then again, we are here. And then demonstrate your credibility. Highlight lived experience, not just credentials, right? Let them know that maybe I did X, Y, and Z, and then I figure out how to do it this way, and it made life so much easier within my workspace. And then design it for your audience. So is it for a beginner? Is it for someone who's already an expert and just adding to it? And then position training as professional work. So treat the submission like a consulting proposal and not just a volunteer pitch. So meaning to take this seriously in the sense of, yes, it's great to volunteer, but this is something you can use beyond DefCon to create your own LLC or your own business, or to be a speaker to go to different conferences like DefCon. So again, and then have somebody review it if possible before submitting, and making sure that everything you align everything to what they're asking for. So those are just some best practices that we came up with. And I will kick it back over to Lynn, and hopefully you all will apply by the deadline of January 12th.
Well, yes, January 12th at 11:59 p.m.
Yes.
Pacific time,
Yes.
which being a Central Time girl, that means 2 a.m. So that's really good. And being the individual that I'm normally frantically always running right up to that deadline. So it's very important. I like the 11:59. No, so it's 1:59 a.m. Central Time on the 13th for me. See you. So we like that. Thank you, DefCon training organizers, for putting it Pacific time for us Central Time and Eastern time zones to have more wiggle room. So, listen, this is the reason why we brought this webinar to life, is because this is a good opportunity. And at WESIS, we're always looking at what are you doing differently? And when we're saying about career growth, advancement, opportunities for individuals in cybersecurity, all individuals, oftentimes it's spoken about like, well, it's who you know, but really it's who knows you. And this is your chance to be visible within the community that loves and supports you. And no better time than the present. You do have 6 or 6.5 days to get it all put together, to give it your best shot, and know that if that acceptance this one time isn't accepted, that you're building upon it, you're strengthening that muscle, and you're moving the effort forward. And if you've heard any of my podcasts or any of my other webinars, I'm always speaking to just dive in. This is your time because you have the support structure in place. You have the resources. You have Litany, you have Trisha from WESIS Education and Training Affiliate. Trisha wasn't able to join us today, but we love and adore her. These women are leading an effort and an affiliate that's here to support you. And then we also have CU and his team to support you on the training side. So right now we're talking, if you have knowledge to share, create brand visibility, perhaps supplemental income, showcase your talent, become that subject matter expert. This is your opportunity to jump right ahead. So we're going to get into these questions. I'm super excited about that. And so CU, I'll bring this right over to you. Can international students apply for this as a training position? Is there any criteria or stipulations with the trainer in general?
Yeah. So my sense for the F1 students, probably not, because you are making an income. But we do have trainers from other countries coming in on a visa to train. And they are very specific. I'm not an attorney, so you should really check with an attorney, or if you're a student, check with your school, because you are being compensated. So there are rules, around that when you're on a visa. And I don't want to be the one that kind of jeopardize your status. So I would say for those who are listening from outside of the country, I just want to let you know that they are trainers from other countries outside of the US. Or when we're in Bahrain, people coming from all over the world. When we're in Las Vegas, people coming from all over the world. They have come in successfully to train and be compensated for it. But you have to be very mindful with your visa situation.
Very good. Very good. All right. Another question came in is, I'm a WESIS member, not a professional educator, and I'd love to be a part of the affiliate. So Litany, yes. And in the announcement at the bottom of the page here, we have announcement on the training, the WESIS Education and Training Affiliate and how to join that affiliate. But is there any additional information, Litany, that you would like to let these folks know on the call about your affiliate?
Yes, thank you. And that's great. We would love to have you join us. So I'm sure it's Morgan's posting the link how you can join through WESIS, but you can also, we have a LinkedIn. I'm not sure if that's displaying or not. If not, I will put it in the chat. But we do have our LinkedIn page where you can follow us and join us there. And then we'll also be at WESIS 2026. Conference in DC in March. So we're planning to have a mixer, a get together so that we all can meet up and just get to know each other. And for those that will be there, definitely join us for that. And we'll be sending out some information to those who have signed up for our newsletter later on this month. So definitely look out for that as well.
All right, great. Thank you, Litany. So we have a question. Are you required to have an industry-related certification in the subject being taught? See you.
No, you don't, because a lot of the frontier work does not have certifications, and there are people who are self-taught. I think, DefCon is a conference. It's like it's people coming in, show their skills. So it is about evaluating of the whole application package.
Love it. Thank you. Do we know past trainers who may be able to speak on how many hours it took them to develop their content for 16 hours of class time, or even hearsay data on this? Also, what is the average time in industry for past trainers? I conducted a 2-hour workshop at the last WESIS conference. Thank you for doing that. And I enjoyed it, but it was a big lift to develop the content. Hey, I feel that whenever I know I have something on my radar at the beginning of February, and I was like, oh, I got a lot of content I got to prepare. Like going there and speaking on it is the easy part. The content preparation, everything in advance is hard. And so, CU, do you have any, but the more you do it, the better you build on it. But CU, please jump ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any, number one, thank you so much, Jennifer, for that question, right? I think that's legitimate. So no, we do not have data on that says how many weeks or months translate to how many hours of training. We don't have that. But we do know that some trainers try to update, and it takes them a few weeks to update their content. So it is some work to do. So I want to acknowledge that. But I think, Jennifer, you are in a very good place because you're starting out with 2 hours of workshop, and you can kind of use it as a base to kind of expand on that. Think about some of the things that you wanted to add, but you ran out of time from adding, and then things that you were cramming, or the way that you design the hands-on experience to be a little bit different because it was only 2 hours. By being 8 hours, it kind of gives you a lot more flexibility of how you actually run those things and test those things. And you're going to have to work into the time of like engaging with the student on a one-on-one basis as well. So this is not about you doing and showing things in front of a computer and the projector for 8 hours. This is the like a few hours doing that, but also the exercise is longer. You're walking from student to student to help them out. So it's a little bit different from like a pure 2 hour workshop, because people are following along on a 2 hour workshop, right? For a training, there's some expectation that you might have to go next to the student to actually do that. So, I'm not saying one way or another. It's really, again, it's topic specific, but it will be some time to prepare. And I think this is more like for you to think about, hey, if this is something serious, there are folks out there, not us, actually not DefCon Training, but there are ways out there to do a 4 hour workshop. Maybe you do that. There are folks that offers 1 day training. We are looking into that. We haven't decided yet that maybe that's something you want to go for, right? So there are things like that you can kind of just tiptoe into it. The main goal here is, potential, consider that as an option. And hopefully you see DefCon as, one of the options that you want to train with as you pursue this, either as a side income or career or a pivot.
Yeah. So, CU, I have a question for you. Does this, for folks that are ready to make the commitment, if they know, okay, this sounds really good, it's exciting, it's career growth, expansion, we all love that. Personal and professional growth is very exciting. And they submit their title, their description, and the layout. They don't have to submit the curriculum until after it gets accepted, or tell me about
they
that.
outline the curriculum, what they plan to teach.
Yes.
You still have time to kind of build like, whatever exercises and whatnot, right?
Yes.
So, we are not reviewing your whole curriculum. We're just reviewing the outline and to sort of see like whether it's reasonable or not. Just like when you are submitting a talk, you have a talk abstract, right?
Yes.
So this is a training outline, but obviously you have time to prepare for it.
Fantastic. Yeah, good to know. Yeah. Some folks are asking, what's the cost? So what's included? I know like at WESIS, folks get a conference pass, explain to me like what's included. And there were some questions down the stream too, like, is the pass covered? Is there travel covered? Or what is like on the facilitator, on the trainer, and what's on DefCon?
Yes. So we're trying to keep the pricing model super simple, and we're very competitive in rewarding the trainers. So whatever we set the costs, we set the pricing with the trainers, and generally DefCon is on the more affordable side for training, and then we try to keep it affordable for more folks. Things usually ranges between, I want to say, $1,500 to $3,500 for a 2-day class, depending on how much work you think you want, how many students you think you will be able to get. You get 50% of whatever they receive flat. And then from year to year, because we're such a new program, I'm trying to kind of get more stuff for the trainers. In the future, we'll be looking into potentially discounted badges for the conference and stuff like that. But those things are still new; they're in progress. But most of our trainers, they make enough to make sure that paying for like a half price or full price badges is not an issue. I think there was a question about how many students, minimum, maximum before. I just want to kind of address that for everybody.
Please.
Generally, we want to have, at least 5 to 8 students, but most of the classes that we shoot for is at least 10. That's usually the number. And a lot of times a very popular class can reach 50 students. a lot of the classes are 20 to 30 students. So, in a $2,000 class, 50%, which means your profit is $1,000 a student. So, it works out, the math works out in your favor, but obviously, this is, again, you don't get to that level right off the bat. People need to know you, you need to kind of build out your profile and that kind of stuff, right? And we need, DefCon also runs some promotion for you. We buy ads for you. But, if you're really serious about this, you should spend, a little bit, out of pocket to kind of do some of it yourself too. So, generally people are very happy with the outcome, I would say. But it's not I don't want to make it sound like it's so easy, right? Like the fact is, if it's easy, then there will be a lot of trainers. By definition, being a trainer, because you're an expert, you're building a profile, it does take a little bit of effort. Right. And I think that's a good thing. And you also need time to kind of position yourself about how different you are, who you are as a trainer and speaker.
Yeah, I like that. Like the very unique individual that you are, really identifying that individual coming out as a trainer, an educator in that space and creating that visibility. So, I did have a question. Now it escaped me. I should have wrote it down. It will come to me if I think of it. All right. So, moving right along, we'll go along with these questions. Is our attendees at all education levels?
Yeah. I mean, there's no education requirement for attendees to be trainers and whatever, right? Or to be students, right? The only requirement really is each trainer will set the difficulty level. And for Las Vegas, we try to accept a variety of different levels depending on what we think the marketplace would like. Last year, we had a beginner's level 4-day training class to cover both attack and defense. It's like a survey class of all these different things. And it was a good class and people really like it. Those are for the people who are trying to break into cybersecurity, right? Look, breaking into cybersecurity is it's challenging. So, so there was a class that we picked very intentionally for people who were like, I'm just starting out in cybersecurity, but I don't want to be known as a novice right off the bat. So we had this 4-day class in which like one day they learn attack, the other day they learn defense, the third day they put it together, and the fourth day they kind of came out with like, you know what? I know some stuff now, like attack and defend. I know enough about tools and I did it in a class, right? We have a CTF competition in the class, I captured a flag. So I just felt I was really happy that we picked that class because it kind of then, we're constantly trying to get more people into the field. So it was a way to get more people into the field. And, so it really depends,
Yeah. I remember what I was going to say. When you were speaking about visibility, it's really important for everyone that hears this webinar and is going to submit for DefCon to let us know, to let Litany know, to let us know, email info@wesis.org so that we could help support you. But also, if you get selected, now it's going to the point of really creating brand visibility. And as a WeSys member, your membership includes us helping amplifying these not only opportunities, but amplifying you as you're getting out there in the community. So we definitely want to be here as another route. WeSys, when we go to RSA, we build out the RSAC roadmap. When we're going to different places, like when we're going to Vegas in August, we build out a roadmap as where's WeSys and where are our people? And then we find our community and we all focus and move together in such a great, cohesive way of support and knowledge sharing and career growth and advancement. So please let us be the catalyst for that for you all. So I think that we pretty much went through a lot of the questions here. If they haven't been answered, thank you for those that are giving us a shout out and love to WeSys, shout out and love to the WeSys Education and Training Affiliate and to DefCon. We appreciate all those messages. And we pretty much covered everything. if there's anything, CU or Litany, that you've seen come in. I know that we have folks behind the scenes that have answered 27 questions already, and then we've been answering ours out loud. But is there any other ones that you see that are really standing out that you think important to answer right now?
I would say the question about popular class hygiene, I think I know you. I would say a lot of times popular classes are the ones that are popular in just general, things like incident response, reverse engineering, using AI in anything, defending AI. So things that you hear from the news happens to be popular classes. And then depending on how people kind of frame the classes, right? So, sometimes we run 2 to 3, like for example, we're going to run 2 different ICS classes, industrial control systems classes in Singapore. I think both classes will do well, even though they're both in ICS, but people kind of frame it differently, see it differently. That's sort of like a creative expression of what the ICS classes are. And we'll see which one resonates. So I think, the stuff that you hear on the news about what's important, generally, they're also things that people like to learn, and they are generally very popular.
Nice. Yeah, and so someone is asking, if I make an insider threat class, are there guidelines, paperwork at say a grad student would like to put together?
I'm going to tell you, Claudia, I'm not an insider threat expert. So what you think is reasonable, it's sort of like what we will consider. A lot of these, it's trial and error. If you submit it, we'll take a look at it. If we think that it will work, we'll talk to some experts, the review board. We're going to try, we have a pretty diverse, we're trying to build a diverse review board. So, if it doesn't work out this time, we'll work out next time. Another thing that I want to kind of say is that we'll post your class. Let's just say your training is accepted. For one reason or another, sometimes trainings don't sell. Then we don't run the class. They have been classes that we have to cancel. And this is very common in the training world. I just want to assure you, it's by no means an indication of your class quality or your expertise level. It's just that the market is just not responding to it, right? So in this way, just like, sometimes you think you have a good talk, but nobody show up in your talk. That's just the way it is. Yeah, and you just have to figure out, maybe I should position it differently next time. So there's that process that we'll walk you through it. But I just want to kind of point out, I'm not the decider of what works. It's all I'm trying to say is that you are the expert, and we're just trying to facilitate a training.
Great. And there was a question that came in, is when you submit it, when would they be notified?
Yeah, we have to go through a review process. We generally shoot for about 4 to 6 weeks is when you get notified. So in this case, if the timeline that I'm tracking in my head, I need to look into the exact timeline. It's that by mid to end of February, we will have classes selected. We'll work with the trainers, and then by March, we want to post those classes on the website so we can start promoting them. That's sort of like where we're at, so that we have 3 to 4 months to promote those classes.
Perfect.
Hopefully we can run them. Yep.
Yeah, wonderful. Litany, do you have any questions or anything you would like to add?
So I do want to add what you said earlier, Lynn, about VSIS, but for the affiliate, we're here to help you. You get accepted, let us know so we can do a run through if you feel like, well, I want to put together a run through to see how it goes, to see where I need to tweak things if I'm within the 8-hour limit per day. So please email us and let us know. That our email should be posted, or if you go where you subscribe to our page for WESIS Training and Education Affiliate, the email address is there as well, because we really do want to make sure that you are prepared, and that is why we are here to help do that as well.
Excellent. Yeah. I mean, the support that we have here, this is exciting. It's an exciting topic. It's exciting to bring supplemental income opportunities forward to our community. It's exciting to have the support structure in place. And also to be able to brainstorm ideas like, hey, is this hands-on training on point for this type of course? So, after your course gets accepted, all your trainings get accepted.
Yeah. Sometimes you are your own customer. I have people who emailed me that said, do you have this type of class? And I was like, I actually don't.
Yeah.
You know, and you may have been looking for a class that you really wanted, or you know someone is looking for a class you really wanted.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Very good.
so this is your opportunity.
It is. It's super fun. So,
Yeah.
all right. So 6 days. Everyone has everyone's email. You have information on DefCon training, on Litany and the education and training affiliate, and WESIS. You have everything that you need at your fingertips. If you need anything else, just kindly let us know. Reach out to me at WESIS. It's info@wesis.org. And we really love and appreciate you all taking time out of your day, out of your morning, afternoon, or evening to be with us today. We couldn't do what we do as a nonprofit organization without the love and support of our community. And we're always happy to pay it forward as well. So thank you for your time. Thanks, CU, for being here today and bringing this forward. Litany for coming forward with all your great knowledge and insight and offerings to our community. And we will see you on the other side in August when we're all signed up for your DefCon trainings, right?
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Take care, all.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.